Okay guys, I'm back. I'm indulging and look at this. See this? This is because clearly I don't need to spend any money this week. I mean, if that's not enough meat to see me for a week, there's a fucking problem. Like I say, I'm just over 5 foot and I'm 7.5 stone. So that's a lot of meat. Anyway. Mm. Mm. Oh, tastes just as good as it did when it was hot. Mm. And I've got some ribs. I've got a bigger stack here, look. I'll show you, yeah. Right, these ones. Mm. Oh my God. Now, there's a little reason why I want to share this moment with you, you see. Not because I want any pity poor me shit going on, for the record. Because this is not how I see this. Right, so if there's any, oh, poor girl, bless her little heart, probably really hungry, she's finally got a meal. No, don't think like that. Because I don't. And I do eat. Like I say, I take care of my needs. I clearly don't eat like this. This is not. This is not a normal thing for me. So, begging pardon, I'm just going to have another bite. Mm. I did mention I'm not the most ladylike of ladies. So, in fact, I won't even call myself a lady, to be fair. I'm a person. That's it. Just somebody. Anyhow, so yeah, there's a reason why I want to share this moment with you. It's because clearly I couldn't share my bath moment at my mum's for obvious reasons. But I would have loved to have shared that on YouTube because it was awesome. Anyhow, my point is as much as you might think this lifestyle is a lot of sufferance or whatever, oh, excuse me, bit of meat stuck in my tooth. So yeah, as much as people might worry about the prospect of not having all of those little luxuries around them, such as the bath, being able to eat like this when you want, you know, silly little things like making a coffee in the morning. Those sort of little things, like it does take me a lot longer to make a coffee out here than it does at my mum's. But you know what? It's strange about that. Is for some reason, despite the fact that my mum's got proper coffee and I've got the cheapest stuff I can buy, my coffee tastes better out here, doing it my way. And it is to do with rewards in life, I think. And what I mean by that is, it's the little things that count, innit? So, having a little beer here in my boot, I'll put it in my boot because it keeps it a bit more stable. But having a beer here in my boot and having this in front of me is one of the most uplifting experiences ever. And having a hot bath at my mum's, again, the most uplifting experience that you can't describe, actually. If you've not had a bath for a long time, you finally sink your body into a pool of hot water, I kid you not, it's the hardest thing to get back out of that again. Yeah, so my point is that these little luxuries, and I am going to get to the point, I know I waffle, like I do mention in one of my other videos that I am a bit of a waffler, but my point is that in my normal, I hate the word normal, but in my normal life before this, things like this were not really that important. You know, it's like you take it for granted. This sort of stuff is taken for granted. The hot baths, the fact that you can just make a coffee in a couple of seconds, all taken for granted. Well, when you are living like this, those things become, they become lifting, you know, spiritually, emotionally, whatever you want to call it, it lifts you, you know. Like when I make my coffee in the morning here, probably takes me about 10 minutes longer than what it would take my mother at home with a kettle, putting her little switch on. But the gratification of going through that process to get to the coffee almost makes the coffee taste better. The gratification of obtaining a meal like this, I mean, I'm sure that if I was eating like this every day, that this would not taste as amazing as it does. Can I have some of these ribs a minute? Hang on. I've got to have some of these ribs. So, eating like this, if this is an everyday occurrence, again, it's just a normal minute. Nothing to get excited about. When you're living like this, such simple little things like this, or like that, they make a huge difference to your life. A huge difference to your day. Sorry, I shouldn't talk with my mouth full. Again, I'm no lady. But it makes a huge difference to your life, to your well-being. It's a morale boost, to say the least. So I suppose what I'm trying to say is, don't be put off by the fact that you don't get these luxuries all the time. The reason we call them luxuries is because that's exactly what they are. They're luxuries. You know when they say that too much of a good thing and all that? There's a lot of true things to say about that. Now, I'm not going to eat like this again for a very long time, I'm sure. This sort of stuff doesn't come around very often. But, so thanks, mate. You know who you are. You know who you are. But, you know, as much as it was on someone else's budget and someone else done this for me, it's a very humbling experience. But on the other side of that, I'm just going to put this away because that's so awesome. I want to save it, and I don't want to keep chewing as I'm talking. But I just wanted you to see me appreciating it. Anyway, you know, where was I? Oh my God, see these waffling stuff I do. Oh. Me mate, I was talking about me mate, weren't I? You know who you are. That's it, yeah, right. Now, see, as humbling as it is to have to accept charity off of friends and family, the bonus of that is, of course, it works both ways. So, my pal is now going to go home tonight and he's going to feel good. He's going to feel that he's done a good thing. And I'm sure, you know, like other people that have helped me, they all seem to say the same thing. And I believe in karma. And I think what goes around comes around. Now, okay, I can't give back what he's given me. But you know what? The universe will. The universe will take care of that kindness. And that's what it is. It's just kindness. And since doing this, I have come up in front of a lot a lot of human kindness. My most amazing moment was when I was stuck under a bridge with my son in Holland, waiting for our flight to get over the mountains. It was like a £20 flight to get over the mountains so that we could get to the north of Spain. And we had to wait about 2 weeks for that flight. And we had nothing. We had literally pennies that we'd scraped out of our backpacks. And we'd walked into this really posh, tiny little village. It was quite a posh little village. And this tiny little posh store. Put it this way, it was so posh that it was the store itself was like a little country cottage, and the shelves there weren't a whole lot on the shelves, just like a few random bits of produce. Like, it really looked bare in there, and there was a lot of produce that seemed to be local and stuff like this. It looked like a posh shop. Anyway, so we walked in, we put our change on the counter and said, is there anything in here that we can afford to eat? Anyway, while he's trying to find us something within our budget, which was literally pence, he was asking us questions, you know, about why, and so we explained. We were honest. There's no point in lying about this stuff. So we were honest, you know, we're just backpacking, travelling, see how far we can get. We've got pretty much nothing, and other than the bags on our backs, and we currently are staying under a bridge just up the road, near a river, and it's pretty cold, but we're doing it, and we just got to wait 2 weeks really for this plane, you know. Anyhow, he said to us to come back later, so scratching our heads and being a bit curious about that, we took what he'd found us, which was a Frikandels. Now, if you don't know what Frikandels is, just look it up. It's a little bit like a Frankfurter, but a damn sight cheaper, and probably a lot more shit in there, but they're all right, you know, like they fill a hole. Anyhow, and you can get quite a lot actually for a very cheap price. Like I say, they seem to be cheaper than Frankfurters. Anyhow, so we went back with our Frikandels, we fried them up, and then we went back to his shop to see what it was, the reason why we had to return, hoping that it wasn't going to be anything bad. And he got us a coffee and sat us outside the front of his shop on this little table and chairs he had set out at the front. Gave us a coffee, sat us out there, and then he disappeared off inside and came out with an older lady. This older lady and him, turns out, were mother and son, the same as me and Jay, and they were so moved by our situation and our story that they wanted to put us up. Now, when I say they wanted to put us up, it wasn't with them. Above their shop, they were fixing up a flat, and it was a pretty special looking flat. I'm not like, I mean, this was full specs. These people clearly had money, and but so they said to us, do you want to stay? We'd like to put you up. You know, we believe in karma, and we'd like to help you. And you can stay here until your flight is due, because they weren't too far from the airport, which is why we was in that area. So, well, I mean, we weren't going to look a gift horse in the mouth, you know. It was really, really cold at the time. So we went back and we gathered our stuff up, and we returned to the shop again with all our stuff, and he let us in, took us upstairs. Now, it turned out he lived downstairs to the back of the shop. Now, not only, when he took, see, this is the weird thing, he took us in not knowing us at all. Didn't know us from Adam. He took us in, him and his mother. They allowed us to live above their shop in this flat that they'd been decorating, which was pretty much finished, to be honest. I mean, the bathroom, there was a walk-in shower and this huge bloody bath in the corner with all the things that do all the bubbles and stuff. I mean, it was to high spec. Let's just say it was high spec. And anyway, so they moved us upstairs. Now, the weird thing is that if me and my son wanted to, we could have cleared them out, because all you had to do was walk downstairs. You could walk straight into their shop. We could even probably get into their flat if we were that way inclined. You know, clearly we weren't. We were just grateful for some help. But how trusting is that? And not only did they let us stay there, but when we got into the flat, and they were showing us where everything is, he opened the cupboard and the fridge. I'm going to get upset now. See, I'm getting emotional. Ooh. See, things like this really touch me. He opened up the cupboard and the fridge, and it was full of produce that he'd taken from the shop and put in there for us to live on for the next 2 weeks while we waited for our flight. Sorry, I can get emotional about stuff like this because it's just such a, you know, I'm moved by it all. I'm moved by human kindness and what people are prepared to do for complete strangers. Now, those people will never see us again, and I can only hope that one day they will come across this video on YouTube and realise how much they made a difference and how much they were appreciated, because they didn't just let us stay there, and they didn't just provide us with food. They even drove us to the bloody airport with all our equipment. Drove us to the airport. And you know what? I can't even remember the name of their shop. I can't even remember the name of the village. I can't remember their names. I can't remember any of that. And that's quite sad, really, because I would love to be able to one day visit them and show them my gratitude in some way. But that's just one example, you know, like, there's just so many, but that was the best one. That was the best one. You know, the biggest result that we had. But there were so many that are sort of almost equally as good. And to sit here and tell you about them all would be a very, very long video, so I'm not even going to get into it. But yeah, I suppose the reason for this video is don't be deterred by the struggles, because you appreciate what life does offer you, and when you do get something good happen, it's overwhelmingly wonderful. Like you can go, like, well, I'm sure you've seen, if you've watched any of my videos for the last few days, you will see how I went from misery and anger and frustration. I won't lie, I was furious. I was livid. I was ripped apart in my soul, grieving for a very good friend, and I had a really hard time that day. That day I had a really hard time, and I slept pretty much, I think it must have been near an hour, if that night. And then headed off. I had to pack all up with a massive headache the next day, and get to my sister's, and then everything started to change. The universe provides, so don't be scared, don't be put off. You know, the universe will provide if you're doing the right thing, and if you're following your intuition and your soul and your instincts, and you keep true to that. As long as you keep true to yourself, the universe seems to provide. There was one time, me and my son, we'd walked for 2 days, hadn't had any water for nearly 2 days, and we were so dehydrated, our tongues were sticking to the roof of our mouths. We couldn't even talk to each other at that point. We were so dehydrated. And we tried stopping at farms and asking at the farms, but we was in a very posh part of the north of Spain, and no one wanted to even talk to us, let alone help us. So we had to keep on moving, and I said to my son, well, we'll slip into this wood. We saw some farm animals just beyond a little bit of woodland, a very small patch of woodland in a field, and I said to my son, well, if there's farm animals there may be water on the field. There must be some trough or something. We'll just have to go and see what we can get. So we came off of the road, walked into this little woodland, and I kid you not, there was a 2-litre bottle of water propped up against a tree. 2-litre bottle of water, just sat there. Now, obviously, at first, you're a little bit suspicious. It looked clear. It looked clear and looked clean. So I had a sniff. I had a sip. It was fine. It was absolutely fine. As far as I was concerned, I was prepared to take the risk at that stage. I was dehydrating, and I thought, if I get ill from drinking it, I'm prepared to do that. I'm prepared to do that. I'll have the drink. So we drank it. Funny thing is like about 2 days later, starving at this stage, starving, and we're walking on another road, trying to find a lift, and lo and behold, we come across someone's lunch that they've thrown out of their car. Thrown their lunch out of their car. There was a whole chocolate bar. I think there was a couple of other bits. I can't remember what they were. But like a whole chocolate. Now, when you're walking like that and you need energy, chocolate is like the perfect thing to receive. Now, was that just a stroke of luck? Was it? Or did the universe provide? I prefer the latter, and the reason I prefer the latter is because doing this and following my heart and following my soul, I find when I do hit struggles, which I do, I'm not going to lie, I do. But when I do hit struggles, they don't tend to be too severe. Like I will reach a point and then suddenly I get a break. Something happens. Something comes round. There's always something waiting around the corner. So my advice to you is, if you're thinking of doing this, if you're thinking of going full hog like me, when the fear kicks in, trust your gut. Trust your gut feeling. Trust the universe. And try not to let it browbeat you into giving up. Try not to let it do that. Because it will always come back around again. Always. 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 It's amazing. Now, I'm thinking about going on a road trip because my money's going to run out at some point. Excuse me sniffing, I've still got the cold. But my money's going to run out at some point, so I need to get as much experience into my life as possible because I don't know how short-lived it's going to be. And I'm bored. I won't lie, I'm bored. I'm bored of this patch. I've been here like for over 2 months now. It's boring the shit out of me. I'm done with the view even. I can't even bother sitting here looking out at the view anymore. It's boring me. So I need to move. And for the record, by the way, a lot of the time when I do move on, it's not because I've been moved on. It's because, well, for this reason, I just get bored. I think there's a nomad in me that's screaming to get out. So I don't know. You know, I've got to go with my gut. Like I say, you follow your intuition and your feeling, and there's something that's going on with me right now. Right now, more than ever. I mean, I've always felt that there's something driving me and I can't put my finger on it. But more now than ever, I can't help thinking that I am supposed to be a cog in something. I'm in no way a leader. I'm not a leader. I'm not strong enough for that. Particularly after my breakdown. I'm not strong enough for that sort of shit. So I'm not looking to lead any movements or anything like that. Let's get that straight. But I can't help thinking that I'm supposed to be a part of something. Something, and I put it this way, I don't know where I'm supposed to be, and I don't know what it is I'm supposed to be doing. But it's just eating. Something's eating at me, and I'm hoping I'm going to figure it out soon enough. But something's really chewing on me. I need to do something, and I don't know what it is. I can't work it out. But my gut, my instincts, my intuition, everything in my bones is telling me I need to get on the move. I need to get on the road. Something needs to happen, and I need to be a part of it. I really don't want to die knowing that my life was worth nothing, that my whole existence had no impact on the planet. I want to, on my deathbed, be able to say to my son, at least you can be proud of me. At least you can be proud of me. Because I'm sure the family struggle to be proud of me. How do you be proud of somebody that worked really hard, built up the perfect life, and then dropped it all like a stone to live in the woods? How do you be proud of that? They clearly support me though. They clearly support me. They're so good, my family. I don't understand it really. I should be a huge disappointment, but I'm not to them for some reason. For some reason, they're still proud of me. This is why I've got to find my purpose. I have to find my purpose. There is a purpose for me. There's a reason why I'm doing this. And I might not know it now, but there is a reason why I'm doing this. I've just got to figure it out. But while I do, I sit here and figure it out. Oh my God. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy that box of meat. Oh God. And do you know what's funny is I wasn't even craving meat, because I'd had that squirrel a little while ago and I wasn't even craving meat. And then I had the roast dinner at my mum's. It just seems like I'm on a meat overload at the moment. Hey, at least everyone can be rest assured that there's no cute little critters that are going to get killed in the near future, because I don't think I'm going to want meat for a month after eating that, to be honest. That's a whole lot of meat. So, oh, and for the record, I have removed a clip. One of my tactical camping tips I've removed. It was my last one, and it was about snaring issues. Now, the reason I've removed that, I'll be honest, the reason I've removed that is because I got a bad feeling. Something in my gut said take that off. Something in my gut said take that off. So I've had to go with my feeling. I'm very much into my intuition, and if my gut is telling me something, I'm going to follow it. Now, my gut said to me to take that off. Now, I know it's already had 3 views. Sorry, I heard a noise. I know it's already had 3 views, and so I apologise to those 3 viewers if they were in any way offended by that video. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to re-upload it in a tamer fashion, where I'm not having to go at Bear Grylls, and where I'm not putting myself in such a vulnerable position. So what I mean by that is I will give you a how-to rather than a this is how I, you know. I think that's the best way to go. I don't want to end up in Nick, because if they put me in 4 walls, there's only one way that's going to end. That's not going to end in any other way. I'm not going to fight to get out, put it that way. I haven't got it in me. If I had that sort of effort in me, I would fight these debts, because these debts are stupid. I could fight them, and I know I've got a real just reason, and if I had enough gumph in me, I could get rid of them. But that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen, because I am not that strong. Not mentally. I'm not mentally that strong. Physically, yes, I am. That's a bit of a joke, innit? I'm 5 foot and 7.5 stone. I tell you what, for my stature, you'll be really fucking surprised of how strong I am. So, yeah, but not mentally. Not mentally. I wouldn't say weak. I'm not weak, but I am definitely done with it. I'm just done with the fight. I'm not fighting no one no more. I'm a lover, not a hater. And if they want to keep browbeating, they can do what the bloody hell they want. Find me, innit? Come find me. Come find it. But I'm going to stay on my positive vibe. Fuck it. Talking about debts and shit. Who needs to know about that? I'll tell you what you want to know is I'm one happy girl. I nearly swore again then. I'm one happy girl. You'll have to excuse me for my language. Like I say, I'm really not the most ladylike of women. But I did find out that apparently the most intelligent people swear a lot. So there you go. Put that one in there. I don't know what that means. Am I intelligent? I don't think so. I don't think so. But whatever. You know, whatever. But yeah, do excuse me. And if you're offended, you know what? Don't watch. There you go. That's simple, isn't it? Don't subscribe. Don't watch. You know, that's what you're going to do, isn't it? I can't pretend to be somebody I'm not. I'm not going to put on false airs and graces. At the end of the day, like I say, I can't edit. I can't muck around with these videos. They are just what they are. It's just me and my mobile. And even then, you're lucky, because half the time I ain't even got any bloody credit. I ain't got no battery. Or Wi-Fi, one or the other. Mostly it's both. But yeah, so it is what it is. You know, if I offend you, I'm not going to apologise. Just don't watch. Don't watch. You know, you don't have to watch. And I do worry a little bit. Like I might get a bit of barrage from some vegans or some, you know, vegetarians out there about, you know, me trapping game. And well, you know what? If I could live without doing it, I would. Or do you think I enjoy that? So, no. It doesn't matter. It doesn't, you know, if they want to comment, you know, whatever, I'll just ignore them. I'll just ignore them. You know, at the end of the day, unless you live like I do, unless you are facing what I'm facing, which is potentially starvation, and like I say, that you can, like, okay, so you see I've got food, right? I've got some food. Do you think I could survive on that long term and be healthy? The tins and the baked potatoes, you think that's going to keep me alive and keep me healthy? You think I'm going to be able to do everything that I need to do on tins and baked potatoes? You're very much mistaken. I really need fresh produce, and that includes the animal products. You know, your body craves it, and as much as I hate it, I do. Sometimes I sit there watching the birds land and all I see is chicken. Sometimes I see the squirrels running around the tree and again all I see is chicken. They all taste like chicken. Everything tastes like bloody chicken. It's just different flavours of chicken. But even a squirrel tastes like chicken. Maybe not a pigeon, actually. A pigeon doesn't quite taste like chicken. But almost. It's not far off. It's not that far off. I've had a rat as well. A rat tastes like chicken. Rat tastes exactly the same as a squirrel, actually. But, yeah, so, well, I'm totally going off on another tangent. I don't even know what I'm going to call this video yet. You'll know, because if you're watching it, it's already got a title, innit? But I'll have to work on that. Maybe I'll watch it through and decide what my main topic is. I don't know. But I'm about to just nestle down, have that, have this one, and I've got a little mate here that I plan on drinking as well. So there's two of them. Do you know what? That'll be a total of 5 beers in one day. Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm overdoing it. What is it they call it? Binge drinking. You got to make the most of it when you got it, ain't you? You know. And as I haven't got to spend any money on food this week at all, then sod it. Why not? Why not? You know, I'm a bit bored, so you know it's helping with the boredom, and I'm gonna, like I say, I'm gonna move. On the moving thing, I think that there's the potential of meeting up with somebody like-minded, a contact that I've made on YouTube, and it's sort of, I think I might have to stay put until this potential meet-up occurs. It's only for like an informal interview or whatever, but I may have to stay put until that transpires, because it seems a bit cruel to then sort of agree to doing that and then, you know, buggering off doing a little road trip. That's not fair, is it? So yeah, I will hang back until that occurs, if it's going to occur. And so you know who you are. If you know, if it's not going to occur, you really need to give me as much, you know, give me, make sure you don't leave me hanging. Let me know, because I've got really itchy feet. I need to get on the go. I need to get out of here. I need to do some exploring. I need to feel life again. I'm getting a bit stagnant and bored. Mostly bored. I'm just bored. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of things I do. I'm a busy woman. I stay busy all day. But that's not the kind of boredom I'm talking about. The boredom I'm talking about is, it's a bit like that four-wall scenario. The reason I can't live within four walls is they're always the same fucking colour. There's always the same thing hanging on them. It's the same. It's the same. Everything's the same. Every day. That's what I can't. I hate it. I hate it. Variety is the spice of life, you know. Variety is the spice of life. And by living like I do, and I'm not static, of course, being on the move and that all the time, I get to indulge in that in the most awesome way. And when you're travelling like this, you do find that you get your haters and your lovers. Some people I'll stop and say hello to, and they just couldn't give me the time of day. They're too up their own arses, a bit snobbery, you know. They think I'm a tramp or whatever, you know, whatever. But you know, I don't really want to talk to them people anyway. The ones I do say hello, and they say hello back, or you stop and have a chat with people, they're the ones I want to know. You know, you can keep your snobs. Don't care. Anyway, I've probably done enough waffling there. Probably bored the hell out of you all. I'm gonna have me beer, like me food, like I say. I'm gonna settle down for the night. You might not get any more uploads from me for a little while. I'm gonna take a little break. That was quite a lot of uploads, and my battery has really been suffering lately. And I need to figure out another way of managing the battery thing. It's just getting really ridiculous with this whole YouTube thing. I'm trying to stay on top of it, but it's just so difficult. It's just so difficult. So, yeah, do be prepared for me to be going quiet for a little while, because I just don't, I'm struggling to manage this, and I need to take a break for a bit of it. And while I am taking a break, I will create some video footage so that when I can bring myself to spend an entire day somewhere drinking something in order to get something done, you know, when I can face that again, I will upload them all at once or whatever, you know. So don't expect a video here and there once in a while. You're just going to get a whole bundle come through. If you've got your notifications on, I mean, you're just going to get a whole bundle come through at once. But then you can sit there and watch them at your leisure, you know, there's no rush, is there? You're not going to hear from me again for a little while, so, you know, just take it slow, innit, I suppose. But that's the nature of my, like, I can't, you know, I suppose if you're interested in this way of life, you have to accept that that's the way the uploads are going to go. It's just the way it's going to go. You know, I'm not a miracle worker. And to be fair, if I could do all that, do all the editing and the music and the, you know, then I wouldn't be living like this, would I? Clearly, because I'd need a serious electricity source. I would need to be static because of all the electrical equipment. I would need, so, in order to demonstrate or to share my lifestyle, in order to share my lifestyle, it's just going to have to be this way. All right, YouTube. And at the moment, my 6 subscribers. Thank you for watching, and do share me as much as you possibly can, please, because the more that the more this sort of message gets out, not my message necessarily, but the more that this sort of message gets out there, the more we can change some hearts and minds. I don't expect everyone to want to live like me. You know, like, I don't care how you want to live, so long as you want to live free. Just live free and make connections with me. You know, let me know I'm not alone. It's a bit sad to think that I'm alone. That's quite sad. Anyway, I'm not going to be sad. I'm not going to be sad now. No, I've had a really, really good day. A really good day. So I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to munch on that. And I'm going to enjoy that little view out there. As much as it's a bit boring now. I'm going to make them. I might go and stick some bread out there for the birds, actually. So I can sit there and have some eye candy while I eat my food. Oh, well. Peace all. Love you.